All right, welcome to the Screen Time Continuum. My name is Keelan, and I'm here, as always, with the fellas who dissect and tell the best ways that you might love and hate a movie. Nick and Dijon, how you doing, fellas?
Happy Wednesday, Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, Sunday.
Happy one of the days that we record.
Happy day ending in Y.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
What's going on over there, Dijon? How you feeling?
Not too bad, not too bad. I'm doing all right on this Sunday fun day, and I'm
Hey.
ready to get this show started. Let's do this.
Yeah, I felt like once I completed this movie as well, I was like, I think we're gonna have a very interesting show, but let's see how this pans out. So tonight's movie, tonight's movie. Um, it was a good movie though. But tonight's straight to video 2021 movie, but scheduled as 2020. Now I want to start there. This movie is called The Paper Tigers, but there's some discrepancies just within when it was made, or at least like how it's listed on Google. It has it as 2020 Paper Tigers. It's a comedy drama with some adventure narrative, right? Which is how that's the genres they place it in. But on Netflix, where we were viewing it, and it is listed, some other places you can catch it on Vudu, I think, Amazon. So maybe it's listed differently there. But on Netflix, where we initially watch it, it's listed for a 2021 movie under action and adventure. Did anybody else catch that?
Yeah, I was
Well,
quite confused on that when I was looking it up.
Yeah, that threw me off because I found it initially. Excuse me. It was suggested, but it was suggested as a comedy. And it was suggested literally because of the whole comedy viewing. Like, okay, I want something to laugh at. So I want to start with that. This movie is called Paper Tigers, and it is very confused about where it wants to be listed. However, it is directed by, I'm trying to, they call him Bo Tran, but when I looked him up as well, it's like Kwok Bo Chan. I'm not sure if that may be a title, but Kwok Bo Chan. He's done a couple of other things. I can't really say I've seen any of them, but mostly like fighting flicks and small feature films. He's a producer, and yeah, he's worked in the background for a lot of other people apparently. But this is his first debut for himself with his name as the lead runner, as the director. It is starring Matthew Page, Michael Jenkins, Ron Ewan. Um, I don't think I really have seen Alan Yu as well. These are the top four guys, right? Have you guys seen any of these guys in anything? I know
the waiter
Michael.
played the waiter at the dim sum place played Johnny Tsunami's dad in the Disney TV movie Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah,
It seems like when I looked them up, they all had like kind of somewhat small roles in different places. The Matthew Page guy, he has a couple of, um, I guess, a show about his life because he's a martial artist in general. But yeah, a show teaching and talking about martial arts.
now, the Matthew Page guy. Which one is him?
The white dude.
He was the white, yeah.
That's
What was that guy's name?
The white dude.
That's the dude with the load of commercials, right? I see him on YouTube.
I have not seen him in YouTube.
I think he did one on like Twisted Tea.
Ah, okay. So it's a high probability I've seen him somewhere
Because all these guys look very familiar to me. I was just like,
in
I
different ways.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I know I've seen all these guys somewhere.
Well, the Michael Jenkins guy, Michael. Well, I want to make sure I get the names right. Michael Shannon Jenkins. I know for sure he was in Charmed, and Undisputed 3. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Okay.
But my wife remembered him in Charmed. She remembered him as one of Beelzebub's underlings. And I vaguely remember him from the show, but I like that show a lot. So, it's possible. Well, no, excuse me, not possible. I looked it through when he was there. Ron Ewan, the guy who played Hing, I looked him up. That's Matthew Page right there, exactly. He reminded me a lot of Jeez, um, Mr. Cheadle from Grandma's Boy.
The karate instructor from Napoleon Dynamite.
That as well. Yeah, all falls all right into play. Ron Ewan, the guy who plays Hing, he plays in the live action Mulan movie, and he actually has quite the listing of movies that he's been in over time. He's been around for some time. Also a martial artist. Um, the Chinese version of Step Up, Mulan, Blood and Bone, just to name a few. Cradle to the Grave. He's been in a couple of things. So, and then Alan Yu. Make sure I am saying this right because I am not trying to butcher a bunch of people's names. I don't have the normal, the easiest name in the world either. But he's an actor and director, and he's been in a few things, but nothing really notable. So I kind of like that. I think I've said that a few times that when they're not a bunch of huge names where we can off bat just recognize them from somewhere, so we know what acting styles we're gonna get. That kind of intrigues me. It makes me a little more interested because I don't know what really to expect. Sometimes when you're too familiar with the names, you can even kind of gauge what kind of movie it's going to be, you know. So from there, this movie is about three guys who were the only disciples of a gung fu master, because it's not kung fu, it is gung fu. At least that's what they say in the movie. I don't know any real history to validate that. However, after their master is killed, they return, they find out he's dead, get his funeral, get to all of that, find the killer, and that's really the whole point of this whole thing. There's a lot of little stories, little lessons, so to speak. But all around, I kind of viewed this movie as very like homie reunion, high school reunion. We all came back to the good old home stage, back to the original state of where we began, but we never really got that montage that got you prepared to return to your home base, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really my start, how I feel from the beginning on this movie. What do you guys think? What are your feelings? Where do you stand? What are your initial, before we dive too deep in what are your initial thoughts on this movie?
Dijon, you can go first.
I can go first. Okay, so I liked it. It was cool. It was something when I had looked at the trailer for it, I was like, this could look like it could be like a mini series or just like a TV show.
Same.
And I was just like, all right, cool. So I was like, this is changing it up for what we usually look at. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna check this out. I got through watching it late yesterday evening. So I was like, it's pretty generic on the whole story thing. It has this 80s feel to it. I did like the beginning a lot. And I also did like the choreography. I mean, was it choreography for the fighting? So it reminds me like of an 80s movie in a sense, like story and just how and the beats it had. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty chill movie.
Mm-hmm. To comment on that really quick, as far as the choreography, I found it interesting doing a little bit of research. I didn't get to do much research, but doing a little research that the guys did all their own stunts. They had to do all their own stunts. That's how it was set out. It was part of the agreement when they signed up for the movie, and all of the stunt directors, and including the director apparently, and a couple of the actors are all martial artists or masters in some way. So the way it translates to me makes sense after finding that out, that there were so many actual martial artists on set to ensure that there was some realism to it.
Mm. You can definitely tell it too. And I did like that whole bit about how you got these young kids and that was just really whipping ass. Mm-hmm. And it was just like putting the work in just to see, this whole moment of when they get a certain age, if you don't use it, you lose it. But what I was told, because my wife, we watched this together, and it was fun because she took some self-defense and a couple martial art classes herself, and she gets into it, and she's like, there's only one issue with this, and I'm like, what is that? She's like, once your muscles warm up, it's like muscle memory when it gets back into it, martial art wise. I was like, all right, and I was just like, I had to just take a look at that and look that up real quick, and I'm like, it's very true. Then I was like, all right, I'm waiting for these guys. Well, I can understand one person. The dude with the leg, he just couldn't do it, but he was impressive in some points in the movies. I was just like, okay, but I was like, okay, it took the main dude, Danny, a bit just to get back into the groove of shit. But hey, I still believe if you don't do something for a certain amount of time, yeah, you will kind of forget, and you got to practice that shit and bring it back up. But it was cool.
Nice. Nick, how about you?
First of all, I have to ask you guys: are you guys okay? Is there like a red dot on either of you right now? Are you being made to say any of this?
Nope.
Like, are you? Is this okay? You are making these statements of full sound, body, and mind, right? Because I almost walked out. I almost walked out, and I was watching it from home. That's how
there are things to dissect and break down. But as far as the movie elements of it,
I'll tell you this: I got a red dot on my nuts. I need those.
That's totally fine. I understand, but so I stumbled across a conspiracy when I was looking this up after I watched this movie.
Oh shit!
This movie on Rotten Tomatoes has a 98%.
Yes, but say the other part.
What?
Oh, okay. I thought you saw what I saw. Go ahead. I saw something too.
Well, yes. Okay. So it has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. For reference, our favorite movie right now, the top rated movie that we've done so far, which I believe is Eternal Sunshine, unless something else ousted it. I think something else ousted it, right?
Big Fish.
Okay, Big Fish. Right. But Eternal Sunshine is at a 92%. Mm-hmm. This is at a 98%.
Well, here's my comparison.
This movie made $112,000 in the box office.
So here's my addition to your theory. Mm-hmm. Next to that 98% Rotten Tomatoes is a 6.3 IMDb rating.
Right.
6.3 is not 98%.
No.
There's no way that correlates in any way. It doesn't make sense at all. But I did overlook that. But we will talk about it here.
Yeah, but
somebody is lining pockets like the DJ.
Yes, absolutely. Somebody is paying for good reviews because out of all of the top critic reviews, only one of them was rotten. Out of like 60, I think.
Really?
One rotten review. The rest all fresh. 98%. I'm telling you guys right now, if people in the audience watching, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. This movie was so boring. I almost walked out of my house watching it because at some points I forgot what the hell the characters were even there for. And to add to that, you could take two of the characters out and it would make no difference. All you need is Danny. That's it. The other two characters make no difference to the story whatsoever. Yeah. And I can't believe I was reading through reviews and stuff and people were like, oh, this is really good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going a little bit nuts right now because I cannot see it. The choreography, if all of those people are Kung Fu masters, they need to go back to school because the choreography was not that good either, in my opinion. It wasn't funny. And if I'm going to, if I could put this against any Jackie Chan movie and Jackie Chan will win every time.
Whoa, it's Jackie Chan.
But that's comedy martial arts right there.
This does
not. And this
compare.
that's what this was billed as, comedy martial arts, and it isn't. Yeah, it's neither of those.
It lacks a lot of the comedy in period.
And the martial arts. None of the characters actually do that much martial arts.
Agree with that as well.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm done.
And so here's the thing that's interesting. I have in my notes. This is starting very serious for a comedy. Mm-hmm. Like it just started on such a heavy. Like, did we just murder the seafood, bro? But,
That's how you do it.
Was that like just a thing that happened? I missed that part. I think the
Yeah, no,
murdering of the seafood.
that was literally like the credits are roll before the credits even roll. It's like if we were walking into a theater, you would have thought it was a preview for something else still.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
really how it happened.
Well, and that's one of the things I will say before we jump into any detail. I think that this movie was talking about a better movie.
Mhm.
Everything that they referenced to and they spoke of, I would have rather watched that. I would have rather watched three kids get raised, or taught by a Chinese chef.
Three
You know,
ninjas.
I definitely think this was.
This made me want to watch Three Ninjas.
I feel like this movie was made twice. I think this is another
Interesting.
example of what was that Army of the Dead I felt the same way about.
Hey, quick question: was there another kung fu movie called Paper Tigers before this? It wasn't called The Paper Tigers, but
it
I
was
think
just
there's
Paper
another one called
Tigers,
Paper Tigers.
There is, yeah. I was
Unless it's
looking
like making reference to that.
It might be, but a paper tiger is just also a reference to a concept of something that looks ferocious but is actually really weak.
Mhm.
So that's you call that a paper tiger.
Who knew? But it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we get into the movie, look, I don't feel like this is one of those movies. It's a really easy storyline. Again, I really expected more comedy, but I felt it was enjoyable to a level. And to note, you're the one who told me to stop doing the hard work for these damn movies. So I had to get a little lighthearted and just let them
No, I
wake up.
understand. I understand. I
'Cause
didn't
I
even.
saw a lot of
Yeah.
the things you just said. Like I saw a lot of them, and I was like, they asked me to stop being so damn critical. I'm gonna stop.
Well, nobody
Yeah,
asked you to stop being
no, nobody-
critical.
yeah,
I was
nobody
just
asked me to stop being
saying.
critical.
I was just saying that sometimes you were making up better storylines than the
have
movies we
fun.
were reviewing.
And that's what I was trying not to do. I was trying not to add things into that level. I was just like, oh, okay, I can see. And then here, okay, I'll give this one to you guys. I had added the extra student before they told us about the extra student.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happened, and I was like, see, it's not wrong for me to assume certain things ahead of time.
No, not at all. I mean, like, look, I understand that there's a formula to this whole thing, but I found myself in the middle of watching a scene saying, what the hell are they there for? What are they doing? Why are they here? Why did they go to the white dude and fight all three just to have that 10, 15-minute long boring ass fight just for him to tell him a piece of information?
Because he's an asshole and it wasn't necessary at all.
None of this movie is necessary. First of all, if they had just let go of those selfie kids at the funeral, nothing would have happened. This movie wouldn't have happened. The only reason that any of this movie happens is because they have to go defend their Sifu's honor because some kids took a selfie with his photo.
Well, and that's the other thing. So, well, kind of not. They were
It was
sent
all
to
set up
him.
from that asshole.
Yeah, they were sent to them because of the seafood dying and trying to find out information and him accusing them. But I feel like they should have been in the movie more, period. I feel like the beginning, like as far as them being young, that was a nice, cool little montage. However, that could have been the whole movie.
That should have been the movie.
But
Yeah.
I'm also with Dijon. That's very close to the Three Ninjas.
It is, but there's nothing wrong with that.
But it would be it probably would have been good because they looked like good actors.
Yeah.
But to add to that, I didn't really see the correlation between the young guys and the old guys they became. Like, I'm not like people change, yes, but
bro, why are you trying to go kick some dude's ass when you got a son that's waiting for you? That you're supposed to have 50-50 custody, and this dude's running around with his old friends trying to beat up some kids?
that was a problem for me. That was a problem for me.
What the fuck is going on here?
That was a problem, and I'm gonna tell you when that became a real problem for me. When his homeboy goes, "You're not winning any Father of the Year awards." Yo, I'm fucking out. Like, what am I? You're right. What am I
Exactly.
doing?
He was right. He was totally right. What are you doing here?
Father of the Year awards, and I'm not supposed to be here today.
Right. This whole thing was nonsense.
But also, to be clear, I feel like I did like some of the choreography. There were certain parts of the choreography I didn't like. I didn't really understand the power struggle between the the three tigers. Yeah, they were called the three tigers. I didn't see the power struggle, and also I don't see the correlation between the Three Tigers and the Paper Tigers. Like the Paper Tigers, how did they win?
Well, what was one of your favorite moves?
Who me?
Yeah, if you like the choreography so much.
Ooh, what I liked about the choreography was the detail in the final scene where they're like, ooh, he was coming with the snake hand. Ka-cha! Oh, they hit him right in the middle of the forearm. Oh, they was coming this way. Oh, see, if you block right there, that's a perfect block, and you just took all his power, even though he's like 5 times stronger than you. He should have broke your arm right now. Clever. Clever.
Okay.
Okay, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, all right.
Those are the things I thought was stupid. But I did feel like they were trying to pay as much attention to detail in that scene that we kind of felt like was unnecessary with I want to remember his name so bad. Danny fought him.
I like when he got thrown against the little thing and he got paralyzed.
Oh yeah. When he gets paralyzed is a different thing. But I'm talking about the white guy's name. I don't want to keep calling him white guy. I'm trying to remember what his name
Just call
was.
him white guy. That's what he is. Jesus.
This is factual. And it was okay by a white guy.
It was the only characteristics that they gave that guy was he was white guy that pretended to be Asian. Yeah.
Want to be Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I was getting mad. I want to be Chuck Norris vibes off of that, but I thought I was tripping. I be thinking I'm overshooting it. Like, Carter is his name. Jesus Christ. I don't want to be that guy today, but tomorrow maybe. So the fighting scene with Carter, I feel like that was the most detailed. The rest of the choreography looked fun.
Because he's a real martial artist.
And that's probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I agree with you, actually. I agree with you. That scene, I mean, like, it drew on way too long. At some point, I was like, God, are they going to go through all 3 of these dudes? Like,
I thought it was just going to be him and Jim and the rest would tap in. I thought it was going to be him and Jim, and then it was going to turn into a discussion. And then when everybody had to go up, I was like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
But we needed to see Danny in his montage scene of.
And I'm sorry, I don't believe that Jim can't kick ass. I don't know what that was all about.
I didn't understand.
I don't understand why he's so weak. That dude is jacked, and he does Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Well, the actor started as a soap opera actor, so they have to be jacked but still sensitive.
I get you. Yeah, but I mean, even the character is a black belt in Brazil. Well, yeah. The character is a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Yep. There should be no reason that he doesn't wrap up each and every one of those guys.
Right. And according to an interview he did that I saw, he had to learn jiu-jitsu.
Right.
So I'm not understanding that as well. I feel like, he took down the one kid and put him to sleep, but that was kind of weak because he got his ass
after he got rocked.
Yeah. He was getting handled. Then it's like, cool little low slide. Come on, bro. What are we doing here? Why is he doing rollerblade moves?
Why does Danny see in drunk vision?
Oh no, he's entering the Matrix.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
I'm letting you guys know this was the best build up for me before I go see Shang-Chi.
I think it was I'm with Dejan on that one. It really got me. This actually made me reflect on all the things I've seen about the Shang-Chi movie, and I thought, like, I guess I can go see an actual, probably decent,
or if not that, go see the Protege. With
just watch Ip Man. Watch Ip Man.
That's great.
Ip Man is dope.
Ip Man is dope. I mean, there's so many great kung fu flicks.
Yeah, there's no question.
We got to go see Protege.
But we're looking for the new stuff, Nick. We're not going back to the old.
No, yeah, I know.
We got to see Protege. That just came out this weekend.
What is Protege? No, you know what? We'll talk about it off air. We're talking about Paper Tiger.
It's something with Samuel Jackson and legitly Jackie Chan's Protege. It's a movie that just came out. And the Vulture / Batman's in it. Michael Keaton's in it too.
I don't even know why that ever.
I hope neither him nor Samuel L. do the fighting.
Oh, don't worry. Samuel dies in the first 15 minutes.
I'm like, I don't even know how to react to this information that you're putting in front of us right now.
It's a lot to take in.
So we have Jim, Hing, and Danny. And Jim, Hing, and Danny are the 3 students that essentially get their ass kicked by the young guys that are supposed to be posers. But apparently these posers have been self-taught well enough to kick a couple of vets' asses. Yeah. Even though they still end up, they just sit in the pool and
That's what I do. I teach myself kung fu.
gung fu.
Kung fu,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
can't appropriate Asian
I
culture,
don't know.
so I'm just going to say kung fu.
I'm sitting here
Yeah.
thinking that the whole movie. I'm like, so are you teaching us something, or am I confused? And I really still don't
We're
have an
Americans here. I mean, look, if I wanted to pronounce it like a Chinese person, I would, but I feel like that's offensive. They just made a whole joke throughout this movie about the white guy using Chinese and how it's so funny that he speaks fluent Chinese and he so.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't understand that either. I was like, but he's doing a really good job and none of you guys speak it. But
right. Yeah. I think that was supposed to be the joke too, but it also just felt like, okay, which part am I supposed to laugh at? The fact that he's appropriating Asian culture or the fact that you guys don't know Chinese? I don't know.
And
the fact that this movie hits on none of the comedy notes at the right time.
I'll tell you this. I took a semester at Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
So if I even try here on air, that would be really offensive.
It's so difficult. Mandarin is so tough. Yeah.
Woo! I escaped that shit with a D.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
No,
it's not easy.
Actually, the dude was nice enough. He just wanted us to get the fuck out of that class and pass. And he gave the whole class a C.
Nice.
See, when they have to change the grading curve like that, it's not the students. It's definitely the subject.
Mm.
It's like, let that be something we learn in our spare time. Elective, maybe. So what I didn't understand was you have the rival clan, but essentially that's your only ally through this entire thing. Huh? That's not how rivals work.
No, not yeah. It's like a sister clan, I guess. But also, why is the bad guy? And I looked at my watch on this one. Why did the bad guy come into the actual movie 30 minutes before the end?
Because
it really wasn't to the end. Yeah,
it was piggybacking off the little things and doing that whole detective
right. Yeah, but that's the thing though too, is like this movie actually could have been decent if the bad guy was just obvious the entire time. Like they found out, oh, this guy killed your Sifu because he trained this guy one last time and now you guys gotta have to go like get revenge. That would have been more interesting. Right. Instead of like this whole like, oh, there's a third product or a third prophet or disciple or whatever, fourth. And they take all of the movie trying to figure out who the fourth disciple is. And once they find out, you're like, oh, it's that guy over there in the corner because the dude can hear the punching bag.
I mean, he was doing some work, but
he was
doing work. But I'm with you. I was sitting there like that, like, hold on, wait. So everything is off. But again, I think we can all say if we were to rank Danny, Hing, and Jim, Hing actually looked or seemed the most dangerous minus the leg.
Well, he definitely knew like the chi martial arts, like the soft martial arts. Like he definitely was probably doing Tai Chi and Qigong and stuff like that. So I'm sure he knew. That's why he knew about the dim mak.
Right.
And even that bugs me because that was a total drop line that they introduced while those two were having food at the diner. That was not a part of the whole thing, like the poison fingers or whatever.
But it wasn't from the beginning, no.
No. They just bring it up out of the blue like 45 minutes in. And they're like, oh, yeah, poison fingers. If you're, oh, yeah, I remember that. Sifu never taught you, right?
Yeah. What, right. And then he basically makes it seem as if he's learned it.
Right.
But he wasn't taught it by the Sifu.
Right.
And then we get nothing out of that. Like a lot of open ends. So let me be clear. If I were to really like want to tear this movie apart, there's a lot of open ends. But for whatever reason, there was a lot of enjoyable energy in it, and I ran with that. Like I just did. But there, yeah. So let's just get through you get Danny and his whole issue with his kid and having his kid lie to the ex-wife, and then that comes full circle. So now you're telling the truth, and the kid has to learn this lesson because he's been getting his ass kicked at school. Like, first off,
well, that just happened once at the end, though, right? That wasn't established at the beginning.
According to his kid, he was always getting bullied, but this was the first time the violence turned on him because he approached the bully for beating on his friend.
Right.
So it was like this bully exists, and he was always afraid, but the violence didn't turn on him until he stood up for his friend who was getting hit. Which, to me, I get that, but again, he was getting his ass beat. Yo, where was his friend? I wouldn't stand up for that kid no more.
The kid could have been taken out of the script too.
No,
And the wife.
He must have did something. I'll tell you this from personal experience. I had a dude I used to hang out with back in middle school. He stole some Yu-Gi-Oh cards from this other kid. Other kid got it, beat his ass, and I mean not ass beat. This one sock and he hit the floor. All I know, they had to take his ass up with a wheelchair, and me getting on that school bus, he was like, he didn't help me. I was like, you should never stole from him. You're racist. I'm like, well, I guess I'm racist for now jumping in after you get your ass beat.
And that's not the same thing, but I get it. He stole something. He deserved to get his ass beat. You stand up, but if you stand up for me and you start getting your ass whooped, I shouldn't be walking to the nurse's office.
Well, thing is, he was in a wheelchair after a sock, so he had it coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He stole something. He had it coming. We ain't even defended him. He got what he was asking for. He subscribed and his issue arrived. That was on him. I'm talking about in the movie with the kids. Like, he stood up for his friend. Where was his friend? Like, that's the other thing they failed to mention. Nobody ever asked him, so what did your friend do, Johnny? Nobody asked him that. Ed's sitting there just bloody nose.
No, because they didn't care about that. I mean, like there isn't attention to detail going on here. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's kind of the point. And that's kind of the point I'm getting at is, was there fun in it? Yes, but there was so much attention and detail missing. The Ed situation, while I guess you were able to slide a really good lesson in there as far as being honest, but that could have been a lot better. You could have from the gate. All right, look, I mean, I don't really want to fight no more, but I'm going to teach my kid how to defend themselves.
But I'm going to do it over the phone.
Yeah. So
at 10 o'clock at night.
To that point.
Why?
Close your fist.
Was he thinking that he was going to die? Did he think that he was going to die? So they literally were going to a rooftop to do a kumite. Like this dude's got a son and he's going to go fight some dude on top of a roof for honor and possibly die. Yeah. That's what we're supposed to believe.
He's not going to fight some dude. He's going to fight somebody who can kill you with the
touch. Yes, exactly. I don't get it. What is the motivation here?
After a guy,
like, that's the asshole that killed my Sifu. Oh well,
right?
Can't prove it.
And he was going to fight him after the guy who can literally hear that sound from a distance. He heard it. That dude's already knocked out and unconscious with a note. I'm not showing up. You got it. You know, here, I could get this brand off.
And that felt weird to me too. Why did they just remove him so quickly? That was like very jarring. They're like, oh, now this guy is just unconscious.
I would have liked to at least see him try.
Yeah, but like, why did he go by himself?
Honor.
No, but that doesn't make any sense. Why did he go by himself and then they still went afterwards? Why couldn't they all just gone together?
Honor. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Remember what Jim said? Jim said he wasn't getting in the ring anyway because
Jim just copped out the entire time. He was like, no, I'm not going to fight. And he's the most capable out of all of them and then the best shape. And he's like, no, I'm not going to fight.
I personally thought they was going to jump the dude at the end. Like, come on, Jim, grab him, do something. Nah. And then, okay. So let's just get through to the end real quick.
Yeah.
We see the hitman. Hitman commits his assassination. They knock over his 400-pound bike. First off, that bike ain't 400 pounds. Second off, right. Mm-hmm. Second off, really? You knocked over his motorcycle and you think he drives the motorcycle. You don't think he can lean it over and lift it?
What were you gonna do? They had no plan.
He picked it up on one hand, man.
He did, right?
Like that TikTok video with the dude in the garbage. I mean, not the garbage, fucking grocery cart, and he's holding his sideways. That was the same dude.
See, what I would have this is the thing though too, is like that him picking up the bike like that perfectly displays the type of like outrageously over the top, like cartoonish style that you could have used in this movie. And they just didn't do that for the rest of the characters. Like, why didn't guy with the knee brace have like this whole scene where he's fighting people unintendedly? Like he's kind of fumbling around and actually hitting people and actually hurting people.
Like
You know what I mean?
Master type.
Yeah, like Drunken Master. That would have been a great homage, but they didn't do that. Like why? And so that's my thing too. It's like these three guys are losers and they can't fight.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
thought
like
that was the whole point.
But is that the point? Wasn't the point for them to get better at any point? Like
no.
Okay,
No,
so they
that's
weren't
the
supposed to be actually good at kung fu,
No,
but they beat the guy that's like, but they beat the guy that is like a fastidious disciple of kung fu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I think that for whatever reason, I feel like it was more of the discipline, right? And that's where they lose me. Because that's why I wanted to get to the end so fast. Like that's why, as much as the rest, like there's a little bit of here and a little bit of there to talk about. We already got through Ed and all of that, and that's really the only other meat and substance. Oh, Carter and his little fight, and again, probably the most entertaining as far as the sequencing. And when the chubby kid kicked Jim like in the face like 4 times in a row, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Because
you know what his name is? Hold on. You know what his name is in the movie? Oh, his name is Boy, Boi.
No, you're joking.
Yeah. And his other buddy's name is Fu, Fu, and the other one is the Chief. That's the name of those characters.
They tried so hard.
Did they though? How is that? I mean, like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
No, that's the point. Yeah. That's how hard they tried. They tried so hard. Man, I did not see those names. So once we get through all of that, like we said, they find the sound that they're looking for against the bag, and then they all just kind of stare at the dude. And I'm trying to figure out, this guy's an assassin,
right?
He is the essence of the word ninja,
right?
He don't see these dudes
in the dim sum place where there's only 2 other parties. Yeah. The guys that aren't eating, that are pretending not to look at you as you walk by,
with hoodies on, wearing 3 different colors.
And see, that's the thing. I think that was supposed to be funny. I think that they genuinely thought that that would be a funny thing, but it doesn't come off as comedy. It comes off as them sincerely trying to like tail this guy.
Hey, I'm curious because it was funny, like them coming into that dim sum restaurant, and they were just like treated like, well, nobody. Plus, I'm like, damn, nobody was there to that very end. I'm like, that shit was like, it was just booming. And all of a sudden, that waiter, it was like, oh, these are the 3 Tigers. Mm-hmm. It's like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, you guys became famous, man. What?
How?
That
How
was
did
that
they
part.
Become famous?
So remember after he gets knocked out?
Yeah.
And before they see it online, Carter's already talking about it. And he's talking about how the Chinese community is so gossipy. And I think that's kind of an ode to that. Like, oh, one person found out what happened and it got across town. And, oh, I'm the karate. I've been taking karate classes. Okay.
This is breaking the cardinal rule of movies. Rule number 1 is show, don't tell. Yeah. And a lot of this movie is just telling you things that happened and never showing you them. Like the fact that these guys are actually friends. I never bought that for a second. It didn't feel like they actually grew up together, because they did. But it felt disjointed and weird. And why were Jim and Danny not friends for a while? What happened in Japan? I missed that part.
That actually made sense. That's probably the only thing that made sense. And I wanted more of Japan, because Japan seemed to be such a big thing, and it kind of was nothing. But apparently 2 things happened with Japan. One was Danny left Jim high and dry and didn't show up to a match in which they forfeit as a team. So that's one thing. Yeah. And then he finds out later that them going to Japan was not sanctioned by the Sifu to begin with.
Right. I remember that part.
But he didn't know that at the time. And what originally broke them up was, or make them not speak, was just Danny being a dickhead and leaving. And I think that's probably one of the only things that somewhat did convey, is that Danny was careless. Like, he only cared about Danny.
Yeah, he obviously didn't care about his son either.
Right,
so.
Right. All the way until he was about to die.
Yeah, until he was about to die, and then he taught him how to punch people.
Yeah, he still didn't teach him how to punch. What he did is he taught him how to ball his fist up and to not see the light through the hole, and thrust it at the...
and then punch him like this.
Yeah.
like you're knocking
Smash
on a
that in
door.
their face. Smash him in the face.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You smash that into his face until he stops. Do you know how small your son's hand is? I don't think it's gonna be much smashing. It's gonna be some nubbing in the face, maybe.
Mm.
But yeah. So yeah. Again. So Zen Fan is the name of the hitman.
Mhm.
And he was probably my favorite character.
He would have been very interesting had we known anything about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seemed like a very great disciple.
Yeah, maybe he was actually the true disciple of and these
You know what
paper
I'm saying?
tigers who gave up kung fu entirely. I mean,
Well, except for Danny, again, if you could just meditate and tap into the matrix, anything is possible. Now, I'm thinking, what do you think Danny was practicing? Tai Chi?
no, he's
'Cause he
just
was
meditating. That's
pretty
all
much-
just BS.
No, I don't mean the meditation part. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as he wasn't striking or nothing. He was.
Oh, he was
countering
doing a
every
lot
damn
of
thing.
he was doing a lot of like judo moves where
Okay,
it's like
judo.
you grab and throw and block and stuff.
Right.
Which was the best he actually fought in the entire movie, but that still was all just defensive fighting. It wasn't actually fighting.
Which was right. That was kind of my point. Like he had no offense even when he was being offensive.
Right. Even when he was at his peak of fighting, he wasn't really actually. Except when he was smashing the white dude's head into a wall in the old movies.
Oh yeah, which
and then they sat him down and
this
watched
is-
themselves while they were young and fighting each other. Like
grab somebody by the top of the head and do this. That's the best martial
again,
art
the movie
approach,
shows us that there's a more interesting movie going on somewhere else.
I'm telling you, I still think this movie was shot twice, or
Mm.
it was long enough to be two movies. I think I come to that theory quite a bit though. Just when we
Could have been a TV
dissect
show.
it definitely should have been a TV
It
show.
is a TV show, and it's called Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai is much
And-
better.
Oh, you know what? I think Matthew
This is
Payton did that.
exactly. How is this any different than a worse Cobra Kai?
I got one issue with Cobra Kai.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Every fucking end season just breaks out in some type of brawl.
Yes, it does, and I love it, and I think it's so dumb. That is the dumbest part of that show, but it's hilarious watching kids in high school beat the living crap out of each other.
Wow. Well, hey, at least it's enjoyable. I've never
It
watched
is funny. It's very funny.
I've never seen it. However, I totally get it. Just if
Yeah.
it's anything like this movie, I could understand.
It's better. It's better than this movie, and the fighting is actually better too because the kids are young and they can actually move fast, not like old 50-year-old men.
Everybody's not just putting arms up and rotating.
Yeah.
No, Danny LaRusso can move pretty damn good.
He can. Not as good as Billy Zabka, though. I mean, Lawrence, that dude still got it. He's the white guy from this movie. It's the
Matthew
same type of dude.
Oh, same time. I thought you were saying it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
actual guy. I'm
No,
like,
no,
ah,
not
so
the
it-
same.
Even
He seems
sweep
like a guy
the
that would be in Cobra Kai, though.
even sweep the legs move pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that, this totally was like there was something better going on in the movie, and it was the story of the kids learning kung fu from the old like Chinese chef. That would have been a great
That
story.
would have been cool.
Yeah.
Especially then to find out that he turned down the young kids, the let's call them the Instagram babies.
Instagram babies.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's all they were. It was Boy, Fu, and what was the other one?
The chief.
The Chief.
The Chief. I guarantee you those were their handles, too.
Yeah. I wish that they were calling themselves that. That would have been really,
been cool.
really cool.
You know what? They also reminded me of like an anime trio.
Yeah, it was just very cartoonish. Yeah, very.
They
Would've
were
been-
fun.
It'd have been dope if they became the students of them.
I thought that's what was gonna happen.
I thought so,
actually
too.
Gave the movie
Yeah.
purpose.
It would have given it some closure for
Like,
sure.
honestly, no purpose. This movie had no purpose.
None.
I can't say I won't watch it twice because I will. I will not watch it anytime soon. But if it came on again in like 4 or 5 years and I just seen it, I'd be like, oh, you know what? Let me watch this again. I remember this one. Yes, on a Saturday or something.
Why
So-
gotta just be a Saturday, man? Come on.
What? Because that's usually when you're sitting around and you're like,
That's when you're doing better things, but the TV is on.
right? Like, remember back in the day when you had like TNT on in the middle of the day and you saw that show Las Vegas come on? Next thing you know, you were like, oh, I guess I'm a Josh Duhamel fan.
That show used to come on all the damn time.
All the time for no
Yeah.
reason. Like 2 a.m., 2 p.m. That show
Yeah.
might be on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. You even have the way that it was set up, right? The way that they fought at the end, the very last. So we have a best of 3, offense, defense, switch it, offense, defense, and then free for all. I thought that was very honorable of it for a Hitman.
Yeah, I thought it was. So the deal was, if I win, I get to throw both of you off the roof.
Man. And wait. How about as Jim? Not only did I already say I'm not fighting this dude, I don't even get a say so whether I get thrown off the roof.
Yeah, apparently you're just gonna get thrown off the roof if Danny loses.
Right? Didn't you leave me out to dry before?
Yeah, it'd be the night I go buy a gun.
Yeah. This all could have been settled with the gun very quickly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be like, hey, bro, threatened me.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
This is fucking self-defense. I'm sorry.
Standing my ground.
That dude looked like he was standing. I'm standing. Never mind. That guy looked like he could squeeze those bullets out of his muscles. Just
we got a comment here from Mara. She says that she loved the scenes from Chinatown. Not sure how much longer it will survive. Yeah, I mean, like the scenes. So this was all shot in Seattle, and I think the reason that it has such a high score is because it won some sort of Seattle Asian Film Festival award. So maybe that's why it's getting so much praise. But yeah, the Chinatown stuff was interesting. Like there were some interesting set pieces. I did want to make a comment about the gym nightclub that they go into. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks cool and all, but wait until you smell that place.
Ew.
You're gonna pass out within 5 minutes because of all the carbon dioxide and sweat that place smells like.
I've been in an underground gym before. Well, I wouldn't call it an underground gym, but it was like a sub-basement gym, and you are correct, sir.
I've been in a Gold's gym, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, same deal.
Just go into a Gold's gym and tell me if you don't want to, claw your lungs out.
Absolute same deal. It's kind of weird how, and honestly, the weird part is the place I'm talking about had weights and all of that, and fighting gym over there, and it was a basketball half court down there for workouts and stuff. In training, listen, like there's easily like, if I can remember off the top of my head, like 8 of those big old industrial fans that are like 50 inches, like 8 of those is running at the same time.
Yeah, but just blowing the same stagnant sweat air, swamp ass air.
Swamp ass. Hey, bro, you need to move from me. You smell like swamp ass.
Yeah.
The things they put young athletes through when they're just trying to belong, man.
Right. Seriously.
But
my goodness.
So yeah, as we get through it, I'm gonna go round by round. This is probably the only part that I'm gonna break down, because this is probably the only thing that, in my opinion, was worth breaking down, because this was kind of where some of the only comedy was in the movie. Round 1. Danny's attacking Zen Fan, and I'm just sitting here like, so you could easily just move and trip this dude, and he's gonna fly off this roof.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it was simple. It wasn't even like he had to work for it, but he was playing with him. So then, for whatever reason, I'm gonna sit here and you're gonna walk up all slow, and he's gonna hit you and just take So
he sat down after 20 seconds of the round and then meditated for the rest, and the dude did not touch him.
Right. And that's why, because he could not advance forward offensively. He could only defend.
Why?
Because that were the rules that he made.
The arbitrary rules.
The rules of the Hitman.
Isn't this a death match?
You heard what he said.
Rules?
You heard what he said. They're all family.
Okay. Got you.
Again,
I'm going to kill you, but,
or Hitman.
Well, yeah. We're going to have a very rigorous set of rules before I kill you.
Right. Cold-blooded assassin, but, I guess Sifu, the guy that you're here because I murdered, he probably wouldn't want me to just take your head off.
I'll let you sit for 2.5 minutes of the 3-minute round.
Right. Which
but I killed him.
Should have.
Wait. Well, he didn't kill him. So
no, but he killed the Sifu. No, the Sifu.
He killed the Sifu. Yeah, exactly. So You're going through. That's round one, pretty much. That ends. You sit and it's over. Oh, he hit me, didn't he? Huh? All right. I
I
guess
mean, like once.
we're playing participation medal.
Now we're
around this
playing
game.
points. Yeah.
Right. So then round two rolls around. Oh, he's blocking. He's blocking. Oh, I can see him. I can see his moves. Ooh, I see him. I see him. Okay, I'm gonna run now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like looks like the 4-year-old that doesn't want to put on their tie for church.
Yeah, sugar pills too.
That's stupid shit.
That's how he got a chance to see his moves.
Why did they opt out for having Jim, like, why did they opt out for it to be a placebo and not Jim giving him like Coke or
I
Adderall?
thought Jim was going. I really thought it was going to be Coke.
Yeah, that would have been funnier. If he was just like, all right,
he
man, this aspirin really makes me feel good. I don't feel anything at all. You know, it's like, then you see Jim like rubbing some on his gums.
Right.
You know,
Like, oh, that's why he's not fighting. He's a junkie.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm glad that part's not in there.
Yeah, me too.
Couldn't make him a junkie. But round two, he runs, he catches him, he ducks the kick of death.
Mm-hmm.
And then he catches this soft little love tap to the face with the same foot. I don't believe it. This guy's a hitman. If he hit you with the
He was literally chopping bricks in half with his hands.
With his hands. So imagine how strong his foot would be.
Right.
Should have snatched your face off with that kick.
He was doing push-ups with his index and his thumb.
So look, on a decline.
On a decline, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. This is why I was just like, I had a hard time with this whole thing because it's not out there enough to be funny. Because like, if Danny had done something funny to win, that would have been one thing. But this guy is like a serious threat, and Danny's not good enough to beat him. And that whole like Deus Ex Machina of him having bullet time vision now for some reason,
right?
It doesn't really feel like it's earned at all. He just decided that, I can sit down and now I have bullet time vision.
I agree. There had to be a montage. Like he
needed to train.
Get your ass whooped really bad, and then go sit down and rebuild.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do a movie like this.
Right. Then they could all train together. Right. They could have all trained together, and they could have watched the videos of their Sifu.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been great.
I would have taken a 2.5-hour movie. I mean, damn, we hit 2 hours almost. I would have taken an extra 30 minutes if they had given us that montage built out. But they did not. And we get to round 3. Now, round 3 is a free-for-all against a fucking hitman. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't mean to scream. Against a hitman. Free-for-all against a hitman. Mm-hmm. Why is he not being a hitman?
Because the script says he cannot fight well anymore. He just literally cracked bricks in half with his hands. And now he's not as good as fighting as Danny.
He's just supposed to be intimidating.
Yeah, even though Danny has not exhibited any proficiency at fighting, in the past 20 years, now he's all of a sudden able to beat a guy that was just training earlier that day.
Right. He may have found some proficiency in fighting against other insurance companies. He was an insurance salesman.
Is that what he was?
Persistent. Yep.
Mm-hmm. They actually tell you what he was?
Yep.
Okay.
He's the only one that had a job. Jim's a fighter, so I mean, is he?
No, he's not.
We don't even know. Yeah,
fighter
like
my ass.
He just likes to yell at the kids in the gym about how soft they are.
Right, and wear his gi like he actually fights.
Right. And I think that's why at the end we see him teaching kids. But I don't even understand. Again, back to the ultra seriousness in this comedy movie. Danny tosses Zen Fan. He breaks his neck on the corner of this damn air conditioning unit or whatever.
Yeah, that dude's like gonna die.
And then he's just sitting there choking on his blood, and he calls the police and drops the phone. Bro,
you just killed somebody, man. Or if not killed them, paralyzed them on a circumstantial hunch that he killed your Sifu. You have
right, we never proved that.
He has no solid proof that happened.
He just said he admitted he was a student. That's all he admitted.
Yep.
Oh, the 3 tigers took you long enough. That's all he said. Doesn't mean not killed the man.
Nope. He never once said that he did, and they just assumed that he was murdered.
They
pretty
just
sure it
took
was-
the whole
yeah.
concept of him patting homeboy in the bathroom on his back with more than enough evidence.
Yeah,
Right.
just-
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck
Like this dude could have had a heart attack because he was, eating dim sum every day. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's a lot of that's high blood pressure right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's salty
Sodium.
ass
Lots of
sauce.
all of
sodium.
that.
Yep.
And how did they know that their Sifu even knew the poison hand? They never saw him exhibit it.
No.
Hey, but hold on, home dude with the leg cast, he got the poison hand. He didn't die, or fingers.
We don't know if he actually got the poison fingers.
Or he just got his ass whipped.
What
Yes.
we do know is Danny got the poison fingers to the left arm.
He did. Apparently that wasn't the right spot.
I guess.
Apparently it
not.
has to be in the center of the shoulder blades.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I thought it
Or-
just had
or-
to touch
Even
you.
though that's total bullshit.
Or
I,
no,
mean, I
like,
thought it had to touch you. Period.
The 5-point exploding heart technique is more convincing than this weird dim mock that they're talking about. You can't just tap somebody on the back and they have a heart attack. Come on now.
Hey man, you never know. The
At
heart.
least in Kill Bill, she had to do like a whole bunch of steps,
Right.
and then
Right.
he had to take 5 steps.
Unlock the key to life.
Yeah.
But I can understand there's a lot of silliness in this movie. I rode with a lot of silliness and just took it for what it was, silliness. But if we are breaking down this movie, which is what we do here, this movie has a lot of plot holes, it has a lot of open ends, and the only thing that came full circle, and I do mean the only thing that came full circle, is that Danny wants his son to be a fighter now. That's it.
Why?
That's
be
the
the
only thing. Like,
bullies.
To be a bully.
That's right. To be a bully.
Well, to be a bully, most likely. I mean, Danny's not a very good dude. He was neglecting his son up until he learned that, or he started fighting again. Now he's only going to bond through it with his son through fighting.
right.
Sounds like he's going to be an overbearing father.
Hey, man, he has discipline, morals, and honor, sir. And
Tell
when
you-
your virtue exceeds the talent,
Who has discipline, moral, and honor?
when your virtue exceeds
Who?
your talent,
I'm asking you a question. Who has discipline, moral? Because it's not Danny. Because
Danny
he
Ray,
certainly didn't give that to his wife. He didn't give
That-
his word
that-
to his wife.
Daseem.
I don't know. I hate this.
You
I
said
hate
I mean,
he was to his wife.
you know, I wouldn't be
He never
so.
even got- were they still married or not?
No,
Were
they're
they married,
divorced.
or how did that
Yeah,
work?
they were divorced. But
Uh,
How does Danny afford this nice apartment or this nice house? And she
Insurance,
and
man.
what does she do?
she's a
does that-
Karen.
Listen, I know you saw that tech house. She's definitely Karen.
Well, her
she's
name
a-
was Karen. So.
Her name was Karen. She's definitely Karen. And she's a trash mom.
I would've-
A trash mom.
I wouldn't have trashed this
she was a
movie
bitch.
so bad unless, like, if it had like a 42 on Rotten Tomatoes. If this movie had like a 40 on Rotten Tomatoes, I'd be like, yeah, it's whatever. It has a 98.
It definitely has an idea.
There is some shenanigans going on here.
With a 6.3. I thought that 6.3 was right on target, the IMDb.
Tell you the truth, going back to these guys' personalities, it seems like they was a dick when they were kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure they were dicks when they were kids. That's not even questionable.
Yeah, they didn't
They were
exhibit
definitely the
any.
bullies as kids. And I
Yeah.
think that's why Carter becomes the seafood master, because he wasn't in it to be an ass.
He seems like the most well-rounded out of all of them,
Mhm.
and he never got angry. He never lost his temper. I mean, like he
Except
was,
towards them.
yeah, he was acting out. He was acting out during the fight and stuff. But then, like, he reined it in, and he even, like, he even reacted poorly when the Sifu stuff got knocked over in front of his, urn. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like he wasn't a bad guy, but these guys were just assholes. Like, seems like the Sifu made a mistake training these guys.
And that was the really point of the movie, in my opinion, is, I guess, be careful who you teach your secrets. Maybe.
Don't teach your gong fu to Americans. That's what
Oh.
the moral of the story
We,
is.
we already know that's part of the story. I guess we got to get our tickets, fellas, if we want to learn. So yeah, from there, I mean, that's pretty much all I have on the movie. I did enjoy it. Plenty of plot holes and things that are like, oh my god, that's not there. But considering I have seen over 1,000 B-roll movies, one more will not kill me. And from there, we can get into ratings, fellas. How do you guys feel? Who wants to go first? Who wants to? Anything else you guys want to bring up? Mention discrepancies, issues, things you like, things you dislike that we haven't mentioned.
I said my piece. I'll give my rating whenever. I can go first, or if you want to, Deshaun, you can.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I give it a 6.7.
Nice.
Thought it was chill for what it was worth. I'll watch it again. You got no problem with that. There was some little bits that were just kind of corny, silly. I thought it was cool. Now, if you would ask me, I think this movie would have worked better as an 80s. The movie's coming out the 80s or early 90s. But yeah, I mean, it's what to expect from certain things that's going into Netflix. Like I said, I got no issue with it. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. Can't complain.
All right. Fair enough. 6.7. Do you want me to go, or do you want to go, Keelan?
I can go. I can go. For me, this gets a 5.5, 5.5. I did like it. I will watch it again, I think, in some time in the future. Maybe not in the near future, but again, I'm not opposed to watching if it's on. I liked it better than some of the other things we've watched for sure.
Oh, hell no. How you going to just undercut my scores twice? You did that.
Hey, it's not intentional.
Damn. No, I'm messing with you guys.
Damn.
I'm sorry. You guys will never get I'm not going to say never, but maybe you might get another 0.5 from me somewhere. I don't know what yet, but.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get some zeros up here. This does not qualify that low for me.
As long as we don't do Paperboy, we're good.
Paperboy. Never mind. I don't know. But yeah, so 5.5 from me. I would not mind watching this again. I would not even mind recommending it to a few people. I think it is a decent recommendation if you understand what people are into, or just to kind of show what people think is out there and really isn't. But that's really all I got. I mean, I was entertained. That's really it. I was entertained, but I was also confused and bored in other spots. So I got the range of it all out of this. How about that? If being honest, I got the range of everything out of this. Didn't laugh much though.
Right on. Yeah, didn't laugh. Didn't say ooh or ah at any of the fight scenes. Didn't even know what the hell the movie was about for most of it. Didn't know what the characters were doing in most of the scenes. Forgot a whole bunch of stuff. This movie gets a 0 from me. That's where I'm playing this. Sorry guys, I'm breaking the thing right now. I know, there might be something that people would like in this movie. I cannot tell you what that is. I don't know if it's the indie-ness of it, maybe. If it's an homage, it's not a very good homage because there's tons of homages out there that do this much better. I mean, out of all the movies that we've watched, this I would never watch this one again, so it's got to be a 0. I would rather watch Eraser 4 times in a row than watch this again.
I would definitely watch this.
Hold up. Is either this or the little things again?
I would take the little things over.
Oh, hell no.
Easily. No, the little things. No, that's not even.
I mean, without a doubt, this
I
for
feel
me
like I might
is
have
a
actually
0.
missed something in the little things. I know I didn't miss shit.
Right. Yeah. At least with the little things, you could pretend like this, like it was trying to be intellectual. This isn't even trying to be anything. It's not. I don't know what it's trying to be. So.
I agree with a lot of Nick's points. I would watch the movie again.
I feel like such a dick.
I think this is like one of those perfect rating episodes, though, because I personally think Dejan wanted to go higher than a 6.7. I want to say that now. 5.5. I wanted to go a little. I wanted to really give it a 4.5, but I was thinking, 5.5 is average. I did enjoy it. As we all, as a trend with me, if I enjoy it, it's probably going to average a 5, right? A 0, Nick. Nice. Just
I feel like a jackass doing it, but I have to be honest.
No.
If I'm not honest about my ratings, then you guys won't know when I say something is good that I mean it.
I'm about to say no. You just set a standard. You just set a standard. We have to be more critical, at least with our ratings, if not with our verbiage of our breakdown. At least with our ratings. I support this, sir. So that gives us a 12.2 out of 30.
which is a 4. See, it's not even that bad.
It's not that
It's
bad.
not even that bad.
Not bad.
But I couldn't give it any points because then it would have reached a 5, and I will not allow it to
It
reach a
it should be
5.
5. And again, I was more likely to give this like a 4, but I was 4.5 something. But hey, you know,
It's a 4.
I enjoyed it. That always gets an extra point out of me. And Nick felt like I shot him in the foot. And I
Damn,
apologize.
Nick.
No, well, none of
Yeah.
us knew about this movie, so
When you
come on,
guys made me
know.
watch Colossal, so
Damn.
Understood.
And you guys enjoy Colossal more. That's fucking sad.
I can say that I do, actually.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
What's wrong with you guys?
we're just turning it all upside down now.
I'm gonna leave Jim. I'm
said
not
I
Jim.
didn't
I'm gonna
enjoy
leave
this.
this guy behind. I'm behind you guys. There you go.
Yeah.
That's your face the whole movie.
The
That
most
is me.
enjoyable part of the movie, and he was pretty bad.
No, that was that baby oil.
Oh, too much baby oil. And I hope it wasn't baby oil. Do you know how bad that stuff is for the skin?
It's not.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
There's a lot of people out there like,
To what? I'm looking at it like, wait, what? I
what
guess
do
I'll be
you use?
using.
Well,
I
don't
guess I'll
use
be.
mineral oil.
Guess I'll be using butter tonight.
I had a joke for that. Olive oil is not bad, you know, if you want to base yourself in something that's cookable. But coconut oil, you know, maybe mix that with some olive oil, small amounts, grapeseed oil, things that are thick but light on your skin. You don't have to use too much of it. If you use lotion, hey, use lotion. Mix that with your lotion.
I'm gonna use avocado
Here's other
oil.
tips.
There you go.
Yeah, also a very good oil, and it doesn't carry a heavy scent. Aha! I use that in my hair sometimes.
All right, we've gone off the rails.
Hey, at least we know where we went. The movie,
Yes.
on the other hand.
Hey, very fair enough.
But yeah, so again, that leaves us with a 4 out of 10 for the movie Paper Tigers. Again, there is a full scale of opinion and variation of insult along with acknowledgement that we gave this movie, and I think it is well deserved and, in my opinion, exactly what they asked us to give them based on what they gave us. So that's all we have for the Paper Tigers episode. If you're interested in anything else we have going over on the Thinkering Talks page, you can check us out. You can also go to thinkering.space. That's www.thinkering.space if you wanted to get any direct links straight to every single one of our shows. And we'll be updating that, I'm sure, as soon as possible to get you guys right on board with anything you want as far as just, you know, contacting us. Shoot us an email. Holler at us, guys. We're here for you. We have a few shows, though, that I know for a fact you will like. We have the Exofathom podcast that comes on Mondays and Fridays at 8 p.m. It's hosted by Nick, Ayla, and Mike. And if you can think about it, if you can conceive or read about it, it may have been in a headline or it might have been in the history book. They're probably going to talk about it at some point. So check them out.
Yeah, we're gonna. If I can plug real quick, because we got our episode comes out tomorrow at 8 p.m. We're going to be doing an episode on the app called Randonautica, which is an app that claims to use your intentions to pinpoint a GPS location near you for you to go on a treasure hunt. But what it may do is open a portal to a different dimension. So I'll just leave you with that, and we're going to be coming on tomorrow at 8 p.m. Exofathom.
Just spooked me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So needless to say, guys, you know what I'll be doing tomorrow at 8 p.m. If you're interested in numbers or sports, movies, comic books, vehicles, anything that I can possibly throw at you, we can possibly throw at you over at If Numbers Could Talk. You could check out If Numbers Could Talk Tuesdays now at 8 p.m., possibly 8:30, but definitely trying to get to you at 8 p.m. every single Tuesday with new information and new numbers and statistics to break down, just so you can hear me rattle those things off and let me know how you feel over there. If you'd like to check out some really cool video games that you might not have seen, maybe have not played, or maybe you've beat them and you can jump in the comment section and give some tips, head on over to Twitch and check out Dejan on Strawberries and Coffee. Strawberries and Coffee also puts their episodes up the next day on YouTube. Please check that out. He goes live Tuesdays and Thursday evenings at, is it 10:30 p.m.?
Between 9:45 to 10.
9:45 to 10. Sorry, and I wanted to make sure I got that correct. So you guys know what time to tune in to Dijon. Strawberries and Coffee over on Twitch live. 9:45 to 10 is when he begins his show. And the next day they will be able to be found also under Strawberries and Coffee on YouTube. If you just want to come back and hear us talk about movies, give you a wide spectrum, or maybe we all might say the exact same thing for something else that you tune in for, you could come right back here to the Screen Time Continuum. We'll be giving you something every Wednesday and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. And this again was our episode on Paper Tigers. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, sticking around, and replaying as much as you get your fill. For the Screen Time Continuum, I am Keelan.
I'm Nick.
I'm the mustard. Good night.
Appreciate you guys.